Hello, and welcome to Being There by Hal Ashby, which I've never heard of. And he has quite some films which are very high rated. For example, Harold and Maude, In the Heat of the Night, and The Last Detail, just to name a few. Yeah, and I've never seen one of them, so this will be my first from this director, which will be very interesting. Yeah, starring Peter Sellers, which I actually know from like Dr. Strangelove or The Party, where where he plays the Indian guy, which is pretty funny. And yeah, that means I've never seen his Pink Panther films, which he really is known for. Shirley MacLaine, I know from a lot of stuff actually, like The Apartment, Irma la Douce, or the Clint Eastwood film, I forgot what it's called, where she played a nun. Yeah, and a few others. Yeah, this film got recommended to me 4 months ago, and for some reason I totally missed the comment, so I decided to watch it now and release it as soon as possible. And what I know about this film is that Peter Sellers plays a simple-minded guy, which is a gardener, and he somehow becomes an advisor to a powerful tycoon, is what the one-liner on IMDb says. Yeah, which lets me think maybe this tycoon is in the gardening business and he needs his advice because he knows so much about gardening. Or maybe this tycoon has already a lot of advisors which are well educated, and sometimes he needs a different view from a common guy. I don't know. Maybe something like that. It won an Oscar, but I know for a fact that Peter Sellers never won an Oscar, so that couldn't be him. Yeah, more about that later. Oh yeah, and I also know that this film took Peter Sellers 10 years to make because he couldn't finance it, and I think it's his last film or the second last film because he died 1980. This was made in 1979, so this has a little sad undertone to it just because of this. Yeah, and that's about it, I think. Which only leaves me one thing to say, and that's let's rock. Peter Sellers. So that's him, I guess. Automatically turns on to wake him up with music. Plants everywhere in his apartment, of course. Reminds me of my uncle. He was also a gardener, and he also had plants everywhere.
Come back.
Yeah, based on the novel.
And make it snappy.
Which is also interesting that it took him 10 years to make, and in this time nobody else wanted to make a film out of it. If it's that good. Everywhere he goes, he takes the TV.
Good morning, Louise.
He's dead, James. The old man's dead.
I see.
I see. Yeah. He sees the television.
Oh, Lord. What a morning.
Yes, Louise. It looks like it's going to snow.
Is that all you got to say? That old man is lying up there, dead as hell. And it just don't make any difference to you.
Huh, interesting. Either he don't understand what that means, or he's not in touch with his emotions. So that's all he does. His job, and in his free time watching TV. I wonder how old he is. And Peter Sellers is so unrecognizable. If I wouldn't know it's him, I think I wouldn't recognize him.
Mr. Chance, this is Ms. Hayes.
Mr. Chance, I'm very pleased to meet you.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you waiting for someone?
Yes. Louise will bring me my lunch.
All kidding aside, Mr. Chance, may I ask just what you're doing here?
Watching TV.
Just how long have you been living here, Mr. Chance?
Ever since I was a child, I've worked in this garden.
So his whole life. Huh.
We will need some proof of your having resided here, Mr. Chance.
So there's no record of him? I wonder why.
I've never been in an automobile.
You've never been in a car?
No. I've never been allowed outside of the house.
Not allowed? Huh.
Then the old man started giving me television sets. This one has a remote control.
Wow.
Very well, Mr. Chance. I have no alternative but to inform you that this house is now closed. If indeed you have resided here, you have no legal right to remain. You'll have to move out by, let's say, noon tomorrow.
That fast.
What about medical records? Could you give us the name of your doctor or your dentist?
I have no doctor or dentist.
Did you know that mounds?
So he never was at a dentist or a doctor in his whole life? Does he even exist? So, okay, now he has to move. He was never in a car, he was never out of the house. This poor guy. So what is he gonna do now? That scene has a little similarity to Sling Blade. When Carl exits came out of the bus. But he really looks like a well-made man. He's nicely dressed, like with the umbrella and his head. He looks like an important man.
I'm very hungry. Could you give me some lunch?
And then he doesn't even know where to get food.
That chicken shit asshole Raphael send you, boy. You tell that asshole if he got something to tell me to get his ass down here himself. You got that, boy? Check it out.
If I see Raphael, I will give him your message.
Ah, I see. He's in Washington, D.C. Uh-oh.
Very sorry, sir. I didn't see you.
Can't move. My leg.
Oh, my Lord. This is terrible, sir. I hope you're not badly injured. Well, let's have a look. Do you mind, sir?
Ah, Shirley MacLaine.
It should be examined. We could take you to a hospital.
There's no need for the hospital.
A doctor should look at that. I insist. We'll take him to a hospital.
Yeah, so I guess Shirley MacLaine is the wife of this tycoon.
Are you planning on making any sort of claim against the Rands?
And with claim, he means he's planning to sue them.
Then you wish to handle this matter through your attorneys.
There's no need for a claim.
He's such a nice guy, and everyone expects him to be a normal guy, which is not so nice. Most of the people would handle this through attorneys, I guess.
And Mr. Gardner is a very reasonable man.
Reasonable. I'd like to meet a reasonable man for a change. Why don't you ask this Robinson for dinner?
Gardner.
So I guess he will be very impressed when he actually meets him. Because I'm sure he never met a guy like Mr. Chance was his name.
You'll join us for dinner, of course, Mr. Gardner.
Oh, yes, please. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very hungry.
So am I, my boy.
Getting hit by the car was probably the best thing that could happen to him.
Do you know Raphael?
No, sir, I don't believe I do.
Because I have a message for him.
Yes, sir.
Raphael.
A small black man gave me a message for Raphael.
Because he's black?
I would like to work in your garden.
Oh, Ben, I know exactly what he means. Isn't it wonderful to be with the trees and the flowers like that?
No, he literally means work in the garden.
Sorry, sir. I thought you were going to come out with another one of your jests about the elevator.
Elevator.
Yes, sir. Elevator.
Ben is very ill, Eve. I've seen that before.
I know.
He reminds me of the old man.
I wonder how the old man was. Because he said that he was not allowed to be outside or drive a car, at least. It's like that he was in prison his whole life. And he said he didn't say his name. He just said the old man. Very strange.
Would you like a car, sir?
Yes, I would like a car.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Are you going somewhere? No.
No. He just wants a car.
That's one of the things I admire about you, your admirable balance. You seem to be a truly peaceful man.
Oh yeah. I agree. He's just a naturally good person. He doesn't have any anger in him or any negativity. He's just good. All right. So the president. Now it gets interesting.
On television, Mr. President, you look much smaller.
I must warn you that Chauncey's not a man to bandy words.
Oh? Really?
From where do I know this president?
Now, Ben, I was wondering if you had a chance to go. Did you happen to have a chance to go?
every time he says chance.
You don't think I should take the chance?
Yes.
Mr. Garner, do you agree with Ben, or do you think we can stimulate growth through temporary incentives.
As long as the roots are not severed, all is well in the garden.
And they take it as a metaphor. A metaphor.
I think what our insightful young friend is saying.
And just before while he thought about it, there was this bing, and then I know. I don't know if this was intentional or not.
Chauncey?
Bobby?
He just met him, the president, and now he's calling him Bobby.
He's a decent fella, isn't he? The president.
Yes.
Oh man, and this grin every time.
Chauncey Gardner, Mr. Rand's close friend and advisor, was at the meeting this morning.
He got mentioned by the president on TV.
Oh, Mr. Gardner, I have a telephone call for you.
President?
Sidney Courtney, the financial editor of the Washington Post.
Washington Post. Interesting. Yeah, because the president mentioned him. Now he's an interesting guy.
He's such a kind and sensitive man. Don't you think?
What is he doing?
Where is he, there or here?
He is on both lines.
No, he thinks, there must be two of him.
What? Say that again?
He's watching TV.
I said that
Yes?
since Mr. Rand is ill, I'm taking the liberty of asking you.
Yes, you are. You should ask Mr. Rand that.
He gets distracted so easily.
I have the producer of the Gary Burns show on the line. They would like you to appear on the show tonight. The vice president was scheduled, but he had to cancel. They asked if you would be interested.
Yes.
Kenny, what have you come up with on his background?
Nothing.
Yeah, skip the
I
letter.
know it's
What have you
ridiculous,
got?
but there is no information of any sort about Gardner. We have no material on him.
Yeah. They usually do research about the people they invite to the show. But he has no records. So for them, it's a really gamble to invite him.
Gary's ready for you now.
Yes.
Good luck.
Good luck.
This way.
But for a man with this mindset, and he never even was in the outside before, he learned everything from TV, but he has all this mannerism of a gentleman. He does this, and I don't know, like, or when he eats, like a educated guy.
It is possible for everything to grow strong. And there is plenty of room for new trees and new flowers of all kinds.
Which also can be viewed as a metaphor. He's like Jesus.
You are my friend. You're special.
He doesn't know what's happening to him.
Anytime that you feel the right time for a friendship with.
And all he wants to do is watching TV.
I would have just opened up, you know.
Put the picture right back here, is that it? And you hold it up to your eyes.
But you're so strong
This how you do it? That's right.
that I can trust myself with you.
Now you.
I'm glad you didn't open, Eve.
Oh man.
What is it about his background that they're trying to cover up?
All this suspicion. That's so sad, actually, that everyone thinks, he's so nice, he must be hiding something.
Have you ever had sex with a man?
No, I don't think so.
We could go upstairs right now.
Is there a TV upstairs?
Yeah, Kaufman, what is it?
CIA or the FBI destroyed
What?
those files before anyone could get
Why?
them. Neither agency will admit to a thing.
Oh god. There are no files of him, so they must have destroyed it. Now he learns kissing from TV.
Johnson, I couldn't stand it.
Chauncey. Yes, Ben. Are you going to die now?
Give me your hand. Chauncey, I hope that you'll stay here with Eve. Take care of her. She's a delicate flower.
A flower. Yes, Ben.
Tell Eve.
He's gone, Chauncey.
But now he seems really affected by it.
You've become quite a close friend of Eve's, haven't you, Chance?
Yes. Yes. I love Eve very much, Robert.
And you really are a gardener, aren't you?
I am.
I feel like that he's the only one who knows what or understand what he really is. Everyone else is, I don't know.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah, like I said before, now he's affected by it. When the old man was dying in the beginning, he wasn't at all. Maybe over the time he learned to be in touch of his emotions, because there were no people around him. He was at the same place with the same people, like probably just the old man and yeah, the woman which told him that he died, and that's it.
What about Chauncey Gardner? What do we know of the man? Absolutely nothing. We don't have an inkling of his past. Correct. That could be an asset. Up until this time, he hasn't said anything that could be held against him. Well, I'm certainly open to the idea. It would be absolute lunacy to support the president for another time.
That is exactly why I agree with Ben's final wishes.
Sounds like they want to make him a marionette or some sort. I don't know what to think about that.
Security.
What the fuck? He's walking on water? So he is like Jesus. Maybe that symbolizes the purity of him. I don't know.
Is a state of mind.
Life is a state of mind. And with that quote, the film ends. Alright. That's it. Alright. Okay. See you at the review. Alright. That was it. That was Being There. 12 Angry Men. That's where I know him from, this president guy. I knew him somewhere. From somewhere. 12 Angry Men, of course. Well, I think he's not guilty. This motherfucker. Alright. Yeah. Wow, what a film. It was funny. It was sad. It was well written, well directed. It hit on so many levels, and there were so many emotions involved while watching it, but all very subtle. Nothing in this film is right in your face. You know what I mean? It's all I don't know. It's I don't know how to describe this, but yeah, it was great. It was great. Peter Sellers played this guy very well, even though he hadn't much expressions on his face. It was mostly just a straight face or a smile. But I don't know. There was so much in it, in his expressions. Again, very, very subtle. Yeah. Okay, what interests me now is who won the Oscar. Let's see. Nominee, Peter Sellers. Best actor in a supporting role, Melvyn Douglas. And Melvyn Douglas was Benjamin Rand. Yeah. He actually won the Oscar. Alright. Yeah, and like I said in the intro, never heard of this director. But I will definitely watch more of his works in the future. Yeah, and this film was pretty funny, but also very sad. And every time it was funny, I mean, the scenes itself were funny to me, but always with a little sad undertone. And also, this film reminded me of, first of all, Sling Blade, because of the character, that simple-minded, good-hearted kind of guy, which goes out in the world, which he doesn't really know. Actually, a lot of similarities to Sling Blade. And I wonder if Billy Bob Thornton was inspired by that. And it had similarities to Forrest Gump. Because it was also like this kind of character. Simple-minded, good-hearted, goes out in the world, accomplish things which no regular guy would accomplish. Yeah, and I wonder if Forrest Gump was also inspired by this. Because this was the first. Forrest Gump was 90s, and Sling Blade also 90s. Mid-90s, both. So this was some pioneer work. Totally deserves the high rating. And it was very strange that nobody was seeing through him. I don't know why. Just the one guy at the end who said, "I understand." And I really think that he really understands. But everyone else, I don't know. And this alone is funny in itself. Everyone thinks so highly of him, but he shows him, I want to watch TV. Yeah, tell us about life. Yeah, the seed grows. Oh yeah, the seed grows. You're right. And it's all understood as metaphors. Which I said, yeah, kind of like Jesus, and in the end he walks over the water. Nice, nice. And I'm really glad that this had a happy ending. Because if it wouldn't had a happy ending, it would be really sad. It would be really, really sad. I mean, I just wish this guy all the best. Because he's such a good-hearted guy. Everyone wanted to discredit him. Like, wow, he's so good. He must be hiding something. He must have done something bad in the past. Or whatever. But no, he's just a good guy. Yeah, and that's what I liked about him. He just deserves all the best. Yeah, and him being hit by the car was just the best thing that could happen to him. If he wouldn't be hit by that car, he would be still looking for something to eat or to drink. This poor guy. Oh man. Very lucky. He was very lucky. And I wonder what happened, how this old guy was who died in the beginning. I don't think he was good to him. Because first of all, when he talked about him, he just said the old guy instead of his name, and he wasn't affected by it, emotionally affected by it when he heard that he's dead. And the other guy he really likes, who died in the end, he was very affected by it. He was crying and very hurt. And he was good to him. So I doubt that the other guy was good to him. He wasn't allowed to go outside, if I remember correctly. He couldn't read, he couldn't write. So nobody taught him that. In other words, the old guy didn't taught him that. Yeah, but I'm happy that it turned out that way. And he now lives a good life. Alright. And I think that's it. Being there. Thank you for the recommendation. That was a great film. Alright, that's it. I have nothing more to say. Except, see you next time. Bye bye.